Hey everyone, welcome back to Thistle Hill Farmstead. Today I'm going to be talking about this Halo Bolt AC/DC wireless charger and battery pack. I got this a while back and I've used it a couple of times, but recently it has stopped charging. So when I plug it in, all I get is this one flashing LED and it never charges. So it just sits here. I've left it all night and it doesn't charge. So I was curious to know if there was anything I could do to repair it. And I looked online for a couple of videos on how to open this thing up. And all of the ones I found were basically destructive in how this thing gets open. They've just basically ripped it apart or had to tear it apart. So I love a good challenge. So I thought, well, I'm going to see if I can get this thing open without tearing it apart. Now, I don't know if I would be able to fix it or not, but I wanted to try to open it up. So a couple of the other videos did give me a hint on how it may open. And if you look at the end, well, obviously you'll see that I have it open now. So I will show you how this thing does open. And I didn't have to break anything or tear anything up to get it open. The key is these little holes in the side of the unit. There's two on this side and two on that side. And there must be some type of jig that goes in these holes and compresses a couple of pins in here, which then allows this cover to slide off. And I'll show you that, and then I'll kind of show you what I did to get that thing off. So let's go ahead and lift this top cover off. Now this is the cover that slides off when you press those pins in. Let me see if I can get you close up here to take a look. Here's one of the pins, holes for the pins here. And what I did was initially, I have a little ring pusher. Not sure what I used this for or where I got it, but it goes in that hole and it would push up against those pins. So I said, that's a good first start, but you really have to press all four of them down at one time. So what I did was I found, I was thinking about what I could get to push that in all at one time. So I just found some finish nails. And I thought, well, that will go in the hole. Now, how will I push that apart? So what I did was I took just my wood clamps. I have an Irwin wood clamp here. And I thought, okay, I can push those pins together with that on that side. And then I have another one here that I can push the clamps together there. So what I did was I slid these finish nails into the hole. And you notice I had to put a little bit of masking tape on them because the holes were a little bit bigger and it was causing the nails just to kind of flop around. But you see here, with that masking tape on, it's a nice snug fit so it stays straight. So I did that for all four holes, slid these little finish nails in there, and then I took my clamp and opened it up and just brought it in on each nail and then just squeezed it in. So I did that one, and I had to do these at the same time, but you'll feel it and see it go in when you tighten the clamps. So I squeezed that clamp together, and then this cover basically just slides off. Let's see, it's going on this way. And then it just, once you press those pins in, it will just slide forward, unlatch, and come off. So let me show you a little bit about how that operates. I'll take this cover off here, and I'll talk about how I got this clear cover off in just a minute. So let me unplug this little cable here so we can talk about this. So I'm going to come in close. Here are the items that get pressed in when you push. So I'm going to turn it over where it's the way it's on the unit. Let's see. I'm hoping I'm close and I'm hoping it's focusing. Let me see if I can move this out of the way for a minute so that we just have this. I know this is clear on a white background, so it's hard to see. But when you push that pin into the hole, it pushes against this lever. And when you push back here, it pushes this little ear back. So you can see this ear is angled this way on each of these. So when the top cover slides on, it goes into this slot and then it slides back and clips on the back side of this little ear here. So when you press that in, it presses that ear forward, which will allow then the cover to slide out and come off. And there's one on each corner. That's why they all four have to be pressed in together. And here is what the top of the cover looks like. Let's see if that's focusing. You see this little tab here. That's what goes in and connects to that. And then it's got a bunch of other little tabs that stick in here. So let's, while this is off, I'll see if I can show you this. So it goes in like this. And then, do I have it right? Okay, so let me show you how this goes in. So here's the upper part, and then this cover, it sits down on, and you see that these little pins here engage. And there's a little, some little ears here also that engage all the way across. So what happens is when you sit this down on, you see the ears here engage when I press down. And then when you slide it forward, it will click against that on the other side of these ears here. So let me see if I can do this while it's off to demonstrate. Okay, it's going to take a little bit more pressure and get this down. And then it will click on the other side of these ears. Not getting it in there. I'm not sure why it's not sliding forward. But I guess you can get the idea. I think maybe I don't have all of these ears down here. So that just latches that top cover on. So again, to get that off, you have to press in on each of these little ears at the same time, and then you slide the cover forward. Well, it did clip in. You slide it forward, and then it will just come off. Now, for how I got this cover off, let me move some of my things out of the way here and move the power unit back over. This clear plastic piece just is press fitted down into the case. So let me show you the case here a little closer. If you can see here, there's some plastic tabs here, 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 all the way around. Here, there we go on this side. There's one here which I broke. You can see that one. That one has a little piece broken out of it, and this one has a little piece broken out of it. But other than that, it came off pretty easily. So what happens is this just slides in. Look on the inside of this. There's little teeth here on the inside that correspond with these holes that are on the inside of these little ears here. So this is just a press fit. So what they do in the factory, I suppose, is they just put this on and they press fit this down, and it clips into those little ears, and that's what holds that in place. Now, the way I got that out was I was looking at it closely, and I could see the little ears, but you could only access them from these corners here. So I just took a small screwdriver that I had, and this allowed me to kind of just get in to the edge of where some of these ears were and pry up. So I had actually two screwdrivers, and I had a pick to kind of get in here and pry this up. And what I did was I got one corner up, and that was started on this side here. So you can see that there's a little bit of scuffing here on this edge where I started, but not too bad. And once I was able to get a corner of this up, then I just simply took my small screwdriver and I took a larger screwdriver, and just worked my way around the edge, pulling up gently, and you'll hear it when it unclicks. The hardest parts are the corners here because you've got it clipped on this side and this side. So I had to just get under here and then just pry up gingerly and work it, and you'll hear it pop when it comes loose, and then you can turn and you can just keep working your way around and get this whole piece off. This is the wireless charging part here. And then once you get it open, you have access to the battery pack and the other electronics. Now, with that said, I don't know if I'll be able to fix this or not. I don't know if it's a battery issue or what's wrong with it. But I wanted to do this video just to help others out if you are trying to figure out how to get into this thing, because it's some pretty nifty engineering. I even took these little feet off of the bottom because sometimes on some units, they hide the screws underneath these little stoppers. So you pull the stoppers off, and sometimes there's some screws in there that you can take out and take the unit apart. But in this case, there wasn't. It comes off of the top here. And the key is, again, these little pins, and you have to push them all in together. And then this top will slide forward. I believe it's like this. It will slide forward, or backwards actually. And then you'll be able to get it off. And another thing that I realized when I was working with the unit initially is I could feel that there was a little bit of a lip on the back. The front was nice and flush. There was a little bit of a lip on the back. So that gave me a hint that this thing slid backwards. And that's exactly what it does there. Now, I don't have this piece in, but what you'll feel when you push those 4 pins, this piece will slide back, just like that, and then just lift off. And then once you have that off, then you'll see this clear cover under here. I wanted to try to give you a close-up of this on this black background. So right there is that little ear, and that is what gets pushed back by the pin that puts in. It goes on the back side of that, and it pushes that in. And there's 2 on each side. So here, this one gets pushed. And you can see, like I mentioned before, the angle of this. So what happens is when that case initially goes on, it goes on this side, and then when it slides back, it clicks behind that ear there and locks in place. So that's why you have to press each one of these simultaneously to get that case cover to slide off. So I hope that helped out. If it did, and if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. It really lets me know that I'm doing videos that you like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell notification so that anytime I post a new video, you'll get notified. Till next time.